Evening, everybody. Welcome to Kop Talk. This is the weekly agenda where we'll talk about all of the, all the latest news from Liverpool, all the things that are relevant. And finally, on the new channel, we have our resident Kop analyst, Stoney. Welcome, Stoney, to the new channel.
Good evening, James. Good evening, everybody, for tuning in.
Yes. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure if you are tuning in, can you hit that subscribe button, hit the reminder button so you know when we're live, and hit the thumbs up button as well, please. So the weekly agenda this week, we have 3 topics we're going to go over. So the first is Oxlade Chamberlain, and a lot of the rumors about him wanting more game time, and Arsenal, showing a bit of interest. Second one will be Kelleher. And the fact that, we've got 3 goals.
I think with
the runner-up.
And then the last little point, we've got Suarez as well, isn't it? So our 3 little pointers that we're going to touch on for this evening.
Are we going to make him cry again like we did at Anfield?
Hopefully.
Get Robbo to give another little backhand on his way past.
I know.
Welcome everybody. We'll just get into it then. So first, let's start off with Oxlade Chamberlain. We've actually got a comment that I might start us off with from Edwin. Edwin, you've supported us ever since we've launched. Thank you for commenting. Always supporting us on Twitter as well. Good evening. Do we actually know what's the best position of Oxlade Chamberlain? Klopp said during pre-season that he is the backup for Mino. After seeing him play there, I'm not so sure that's the case. I'll just start off by saying, number one, he is kind of the victim of not having a set position. Number 2, Klopp said he was training him as a false 9, yes. And number 3, I don't think we've actually seen him in that role so far this season. I will let you elaborate on that for us.
Yeah, thank you, Edwin, as well for that comment. It's something that myself and Gems had actually been a wonderful comment. Is something that we're clearly going to elaborate on. I think with Ox is quite interesting. We played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We played 5 pre-season games, and Ox Chamberlain featured in all of those games. And in those positions, he either played in the number 8 role, usually on the right-hand side of the 3, or he played in a false number 9. And Gems mentioned as well previously that Klopp had actually been part of the training, background training for Ox was obviously just to see whether he'd be able to feature in that false number 9. So if Bobby didn't play, it would either be Ox playing there or probably Jota. So during pre-season training, Ox had either played in the number 8 or the number 9. However, when the season actually started, Ox reverted back to playing in the number 8 on the right-hand side. And that was even if Bobby wasn't available. Jota actually played there. So you're right. It's still looking at the best position for Ox. I believe he can play in either position. However, he's playing more in midfield at the moment than he is up front.
Yeah, he's never had that set role, and I think that he needed just to be specialized at something and kind of honed into one role. But I mean, we did question a few games because Bobby was injured, and it was like, okay, you've told us you've trained Ox as a false 9. We did a whole show about it, discussing him as a false 9. Why are you then playing Jota? Because personally, to me, that wasn't working either. Jota didn't look comfortable in that position. He didn't look happy. I would have rather have seen, all right, I don't know, versus say Crystal Palace or a team like that. Let's stick Ox in there. Let's see what he can do. Let's give him a go. I think he deserved that, and I was a bit frustrated actually that we kept sticking Jota there.
I think it's one of those as well. I think with that, and hearing Klopp and the coaching staff saying that they were going to play him in the different positions, I think it was probably a sign that they were seeing the development of somebody that actually, I know what is Ox is 28. All right. So usually around that age, players are usually hitting their prime. So probably they were seeing a player that can feature in either role. it would probably have helped us in terms of the transfer market. If they probably thought that Ox can play in either role, it meant that we probably didn't need to actually purchase anybody. And probably as well for him to actually stake a claim there. I mean, I know we moved on Shaqiri, so it probably could have been Ox now having the opportunity to really put his foot down and just say, look, I'm either going to play the number 9 or the number 8, and someone else is going to have to grab the t-shirt or the role from me. But I still don't think at this stage he's actually been able to do that, and it's a little bit disheartening for me. I like Ox.
Yeah,
I really do like Ox, and it's one of those things. Do you think
he's very low down the pecking order? It feels. And I
he
think
is.
that frustrates him.
He is, but do you know the strange thing as well about it, Gems? And he said, I know he had his baby as well, isn't it? He had his baby recently with his partner as well. I know other players have had babies. Do you reckon that's having an impact on him as well? His performance? I don't know. I'm trying to make excuses here because I really like Ox. We've got
Have we seen enough to say his performances haven't been great though? I'm trying to recall now. I can remember him coming on. My memory's horrendous.
No, don't worry. Well, look, think of it, Gems. Right? As I said, he played in the preseason game against Stuttgart. He played against Mainz.
Did he come on in Porto? Porto?
Yeah, he did. I mean, in Porto, yeah, definitely. In Porto, he played he only played the last 17 minutes against Porto, though, right? So if we think of it, preseason games, he played against Stuttgart, he played against Mainz, he played against Hertha Berlin, he played against Bologna and Osasuna. Okay, that first league game we played when we played against Norwich was the first league game we played. Yeah, we won 3-0. He played 61 minutes. He played the number 8, so he played in midfield. In midfield, he played with Naby and Milner. All right.
We didn't
that means through the pre-season.
Henderson, then, though, did we?
Pardon me?
That first game, we didn't have Henderson or Thiago then, no.
No. So he played with Naby and Milner for that first game against Norwich, right? And then he played against Leeds, but then he only played 8 minutes. And then he played in the Champions League game against Milan where we won 3-2. He only played 6 minutes. He played the whole game in the EFL Cup against Norwich. So he played the whole 90 minutes. And then he played 17 minutes when we played against Porto. All of those games was as the number 8. So this is just really going back to Edwin's question originally before his best position. He's played all of those roles as the number 8, but in the pre-season, he was actually playing the number 9. So you're right. Was it something that the coaching staff had probably seen and said, well, look, we want him to play as a number 9, but you know what? Maybe he's not going to cut it this time. I mean, the thing is, Gems, he's a two-footed, creative, dynamic player. One of our only midfielders that actually shoot from range as well. He still does possess all of the qualities that we need, but for some unknown reason, it's not ticking.
Yeah. Is that inconsistent, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, he's come out, and I don't know if it's him personally, but there's, stories around that he's not happy with the amount of minutes he's getting, and he wants to go somewhere in January where he'll get more minutes. And then obviously, he's ex-Arsenal. Rumours start floating around. Are Arsenal interested? A lot of the Arsenal fans are like, no, he's too injury prone. Well, to me, when you're reading off those minutes, I'm thinking, do you know what? For a caliber of team we have, he's had quite a few minutes. It's not too bad. It's not too shabby.
Yeah, he's had game time. I mean, the thing is, with
just not making an impact in those...
and that's the main thing I was saying. Impact. I want him. I would like for him to have had the same impact that Harvey Elliott had.
Yeah.
So Harvey had his chance. Took it by the scruff of his neck. Prior to that, if we looked at it last season when we purchased Jota, before Jota got injured, Jota had an opportunity to play. Stuck his claim. I know we've mentioned about it in previous shows about this season hopefully being the opportunity where Naby and Ox rise and deliver. Yeah. I know it's still early. But I just want Ox to actually deliver. I really, really, really do. And as you said, if the opportunity is not there and there is the opportunity for him to go back to Southampton or Arsenal, Let us take the money.
Mm.
Let us take the money.
I know. And you look ahead at our next 7 games, like we did the show yesterday, our next 7 games. Trying to think, Watford, will he start for his Watford, or is that where we're going to give some other players that are a bit rusty a little run out?
Well,
Thiago's going to be back soon.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Even with that Watford, and as you said, I know we got a preview show tomorrow, so the panel will touch on that. But he's no longer featuring on the international level, so he would have been training with the coaching staff. If he doesn't start against Watford, then I believe that there's some reservations about him, which is going to be a shame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely.
But yeah.
Okay, so let's move on anyway. So I personally am going to be interested if of all the next 7 games, if he's not going to play versus Watford on Saturday, with potentially the Brazilians missing, Thiago still not ready, Henderson's been away. That does speak volumes, really.
Yeah. And as you said, if worst case scenario, Gems, I think his value is probably between 16 and 21 mil. We'll take that. So it's money at the end of the day, isn't it?
Not bad. Yeah. Some of these teams will love him. He promises goals from outside of the box, but you just got to play him.
Exactly. It's true.
We can't consistently do that at the moment.
Yeah.
Right. So next, we're going to go on to Kelleher.
Yeah.
I just wanted to just quickly pop up this. So we've got a Monday from the Man United agenda. Go and check them out. That's our Man U fan channel related to FTV Sports. Salute, guys. Suarez for Liverpool was awesome. Such a talented player. Defo up there with the best number 9 your club have ever had. You suggesting he could return or something? Gulp. No, he's returning as an opponent on Monday, and he's the one that will be gulping.
Yes.
Ian Shaw, evening. This is our FTB host, Man City fan. Are you concerned about the new manager or any area effect on Saturday? So, Ian, we're going to do a pre-match show tomorrow for the Watford game. So tune in, and we will let you know. We will let you know on that one. 6 p.m. tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nick Ford, I love the new look. Very professional.
Thank you.
Is that me? Like my flag.
Thank you, Nick.
I'm trying to figure out what I need to get I want to get a nice big poster picture for that wall now, because this will be my new setup. Good, so let me know, guys. Who should I have on there? I think a big picture of Klopp would look beautiful. Klopp with his glasses on.
Yeah.
So I got distracted. Debut for Stoney. Let's have a mom performance. I think you missed out a T there, mate. Let's have a mum performance. Nick Ford, it's time for Ox to go home to Arsenal, or failing that Southampton. I think there are a lot of teams, even teams like Wolves, Palace. I think there are a lot of teams that would be up for it.
Definitely. And as we said already, look, sometimes even if the project's not working out for Ox here at Liverpool, it doesn't mean that you won't have an opportunity to play for somebody else in the Premiership as well. It's just one of those things, really, isn't it?
Amandi says your smile is infectious.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're his mum now, look. Ian Shaw, Firmino, Klopp, Stoney. Do you go to the dentist?
That's class. Not the same dentist, unfortunately.
No, I think Bobby's like psychedelic, isn't it? Hi, definitely. Reese. Oh, you're very late. Don't worry about it, darling. It's been a busy week at Kop Talk. Thanks for joining us now anyway. Now you're here. That's fine. Perfect. So the next conversation we're going to go on to is the goalkeeper situation.
Yes.
We've got our number 1, Alisson Becker, best goalkeeper in the world. A lot of talk about Mendy lately. Not having it. Not having it. Becker scores, assists, and saves goals. He's a Champions League winner. He's a Premier League winner. He's a Super Cup winner. I'll go on and on and on. Yeah. He saved us in our time of need with that header. Best goalkeeper in the world. Who it can be a runner-up to that? We have Adrian, and we have Kelleher.
Yeah, we do as well. And I think this is quite interesting with this as well. As he said, James mentioned that we will have our show tomorrow at 6:30 previewing the Watford game. So I know that our panel and everything will speak a little bit more in depth about that game. But one of the things that we did want to touch on today is about Kelleher. and I do believe he will actually play on Saturday. Bearing in mind as well, as you said, Alisson and Fabinho were away with Brazil. There's no way that they're going to be able to feature for that Watford game. So we have a young 22-year-old Irish goalkeeper. We purchased him in 2018. And yeah, he's a full Ireland international. It's between him at the moment and Man City have got a young goalie, Gavin Bazunu. I always pronounce his name, Bazunu. He's 19. So it's really between Kelleher and the 19-year-old goalie. He does actually belong to Man City. He's currently on loan down at Portsmouth at the moment. And between both goalies, when they play at the international level, I swear there's absolutely nothing between these goalies. But I'm just glad and blessed that we actually have Kelleher at the moment.
Yeah.
I think we purchased Adrian. What is he? He's 34. We actually gave him the contract.
Now?
Yeah, he's 34. And he signed the contract extension in June. Pardon me?
I think it's good for his age. He looks young.
Yeah, he's 34. Wow. So I think he's actually served his purpose, Adrian. And I believe that he's obviously there supporting the goalkeeping coaching staff, and obviously being able to give some of his experience as well to support some of our younger goalkeepers. It's not just Kelleher there. We've got a few young Polish goalkeepers in our club at the moment as well. And they're probably going to feature at some stage as well. But Kelleher, 22. I really like him. It's a strange thing about him when he plays in goal. And some of our viewers may actually laugh at this, but he does the basics correctly. He's no flair or anything. If he's there, he's going to get safe hands. He's not on the level of Alisson. We're not actually looking for somebody to be on the level of Alisson. But I think what he does actually offer is, if Alisson's not there and you've got a goalie there, I actually feel safe with him being there. Sometimes you have backup goalies, or
we've had Karius, haven't we?
Yeah, like Karius, and they make you feel a little bit nervous. And even when Adrian did play in a couple of the games last season, he was there, but I felt a little bit nervous. But when Kelleher's in there, he's fine. He's got good distribution, can use both of his feet left and right. He can actually play the sweeper keeper as well. You've actually seen him actually come out and play the sweeper keeper as well. And he's actually commanding from crosses and set pieces. Yeah. So for that, I really like. So as you said, the fact,
very confident.
Definitely.
That's what I like the most about him, is his confidence. I think Adrian's was knocked a lot by some of his blunders. I don't think he's ever really recovered his confidence from those errors. And I think Kelleher, he's so confident. He doesn't seem to be fazed by anything. Last season when we needed him, because Alisson was out for a long time, which people seem to forget. He just, it's just like, I can do this. Just football match. And I think that's what our club and Klopp instills in the players is that. Like you look, Elliot comes out like, it's just a game at Anfield, big match, nothing. I love that our young players have this attitude now. I think it's something that's being implemented around the club. That's what I love the most about Kelleher. But you're right, he gets the basics.
And that's what you want.
Yeah.
Really nice transition as well. As you said, he's made from the academy. And he's there still trying to find out, as you said, in depth what type goalkeeper he's going to be. But hey, look, we've got him until 2026, I think his contract's there anyway. So we will see the best of him. And I know goalkeepers have probably changed in their typeset that they call them now as well. Usually they say goalkeepers are in their prime at around 30 or something like that. But if we're seeing this quality at such a young age, then I think we're actually blessed. So as you said, going into Saturday is going to be there, and I believe that he's still going to have a nice steady performance as well. So that's a good thing, us and Kelleher. So if you're tuning in, Kelleher, we love you. Okay, we just wanted to get it up.
Love him, love this guy. I could watch his clips, his highlight reels. Go and look at Kelleher's highlight reels. Even if you're not a Liverpool fan and you're tuning in, go and watch them. It's astounding. He doesn't even look like a big guy, and he's got a great. Let's face it, he's got Becker to teach him as well. What a great teacher he's got. It's like Konate with Virgil, Kelleher with Becker. It's just great. Reese is saying City will play Zach Stefan if Alisson can't play.
Okay.
So they've got Brazilians as well, haven't they?
Yeah. He's a good goalkeeper as well. Zach Stefan, very good goalkeeper as well.
Who's City got? I'm not sure. We've got Ian Shaw in the comments here. Who have you got this week, Mr. Shaw? He's saying Stoney's knowledge is staggering. Who else would know about loan keepers at Portsmouth? Well, we were having a talk because obviously ours is Irish, and we were looking at who's his competition in the Irish team, and it's one of yours, Ian. It's one of yours.
Yeah. So City have got Burnley next, haven't they?
Right.
Yeah, they got their City have got Burnley, so that's gonna be a tough game as well for City. So
aren't they? I don't know if they were struggling a bit this season, Burnley. I think it's going to be a tough one for them. I don't think their game plan that's worked for so many seasons is going to work as much now. A lot of teams just want to come out fighting. I don't think they're...
It's going to be a good game. They've had some injection of money there, and Sean Dice is still doing his magic there. Still a sturdy team. So it's going to be a hard game for City over the weekend as well. So
that'll be interesting. Who's going to miss their Brazilians the most?
That would have been a nice topic.
Yeah, Man U won't. There's a joke going around saying that Liverpool and Man City are trying to get some planes together to go and get them all, so Man United don't miss out on Fred.
That's crazy.
And they're thinking, please don't return. Please don't return. Poor Fred. He gets all the blame, doesn't he, eh? Fred and Ollie, always scapegoats.
I know. And the thing is with Fred, as much stick as Manchester United or, other fans give him, he's a full international. So he must be doing something right.
I know. I always get said, look, Fred's keeping Fab on the bench. I'm like, that's all good. Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Let Fab sit on the bench.
Fresh.
I'm happy. I agree. When they come back, you're having him and I'm having Fab. I'm not swapping. I just want to look at Burnley. Burnley are 18th. They haven't won a game.
Oh,
okay. That's what I'm saying. They're in trouble. -6 goal difference.
Wow.
They're struggling this season.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Literally.
And Man City are not afraid to score goals, so we'll see. We'll hope for a draw then. That's what we'll be hoping for.
I can't see Burnley scoring against Man City.
No
matter who's in goal, know. All right, talking about scoring in games. Luis Suarez.
Yeah, he returns.
Last time. So we're away first, aren't we? And then they're going to be coming back to Anfield. My part in memories of Suarez is, like I said, him sat on his ass crying in his Barcelona fluorescent yellow kit.
I think the game's going to be interesting for lots of reasons as well. I think Atletico, the way that Simeone's got them playing, and I say this completely respectfully, it's not tongue in cheek about anything that I'm saying.
Yeah,
they'll actually, when they come to actually play us, they're going to come with no fear. They're coming there expecting to have the 3 points, and I think we have to be realistic. The last 2 Champions League games we played against Atletico, they had some serious, I'm not going to use a first word, some very housery tactics, and I believe that they'll be doing the same thing, and Suarez is going to relish actually being part of that. Atletico now are playing a 4-4-2, and Suarez has actually been playing in that. I think we were speaking just before we came on air, Gems, and we were speaking about Atletico being second in La Liga. But they're just joint points with Real Madrid at the moment, so they're full of confidence. Suarez did. Go ahead.
Real Sociedad's not far behind. The top 3 are just all kind of interlinked, and they actually play them after we play as well. So they've kind of got a little bit, not pressure, but because there's a nice big gap in between. But it's still, for them and us, it's like 2 significant games together. So it's not just us. But have you heard the news?
Go ahead.
The Spanish league has allowed their game to be called off.
Yes, I did hear it
because of the Brazilian saga.
I did actually hear that, and you know that's quite interesting, and it's interesting that the league have allowed them to do that, and that's fine. It's interesting. That would be something that I think this league should actually do as well, especially if they want these teams to actually represent, obviously, you know, football being played in this country and winning those European honours. I think that's a good move by them. It's probably going to, well, it's clearly probably going to work in their advantage, isn't it? Really. So yeah, they're going to be fresh. They're going to be ready. But yeah, Suarez coming back is going to be interesting. I mean, he featured in. They lost. Uruguay lost 3-0 against Argentina, and Suarez did actually play. But I mean, for Atletico, the last game they played was against Barcelona, and he scored and he assisted, and he gave Ronald Koeman a little.
I know, but it was only a 2-0. It was only a 2-0.
But
I was looking, like when we did the show yesterday, they've had a lot of their games have had red cards as well, and I was saying I want to kind of look into that.
Yes.
Is it because you know, they're doing a bit of diving, like you said, with the shithousery?
They play more a high intensity now as well. It's a combination of. It's a combination of. I think there's absolutely no way that
very ends of the game are they diving, causing players to come in on them and dive in and getting players sent off.
We have to be wise to that.
Yeah, because Suarez does love a dive, doesn't he?
He does love a dive.
He's the king of shithousery, isn't he?
Yeah, and this is where our players are going to have to really be cute. I mean, for this season, he's got 4 goals in 8 games. Up front, he's had a combination of partners. João Felix probably hasn't played as much as he probably would have liked to. Griezmann hasn't really resettled back in. And they've got Correa as well, who's played up front in a few games with Suarez. So it will just to see what combination or partnership he will actually have coming back to Anfield.
Actually, if they're not going to play a game now, so their next game will be us. Bit rusty, maybe. Not, you know, I quite. If they cancelled our Watford game, I'd actually prefer to play it than have a break before Tuesday, because it's kind of like a pre-match. You know, get the momentum going, get the blood going. But you never know. It could go in their favour, like you said, rested, but they've already had international break. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it could. Yeah. Maybe it might take some of the momentum out of them. Either way, Luis Suarez is always a threat. He's always a danger, whether it's for biting, diving, scoring, just general messing around.
He's going to be up for it.
He's combined with Simeone, it's just lethal combination.
Yeah,
it can be.
And also the crowd. We're going to be giving Suarez verbal hell, and I believe he's just going to relish in that as well.
He does.
If we do play any of our young players, I think we definitely have to be streetwise against him.
I wouldn't want to play Tsimikas versus Suarez.
Pardon me?
I wouldn't want to play Tsimikas versus Suarez. I don't think he's quite
streetwise there.
Got that enough. Yeah, he'd probably end up with a red, like a lot of people have in a few minutes.
Definitely.
Also, you know, we're going to go away first.
Yeah.
We need experience when we do that, because he will be in his element, like you say, at home. Simeone, the hype, the grandeur. He loves a stage, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He loves a big performance. However, they drew 0-0 with Porto.
Yeah.
And they beat AC Milan 2-1. However, Kessie got a red card in the 29th minute.
Yeah.
And they got a penalty. So they actually only scored 1 goal in open play. And then, you know, they were playing against 10 men. I know he's a danger, but, you know, 1 man doesn't make a...
True.
You know, Virgil's back.
So yeah, that was nice. A nice little duel there.
Yes.
So yeah, definitely looking forward to that fixture, but definitely worth keeping an eye out for Suarez.
Definitely. Cool. I'm just gonna we got Nick Ford. Salah was scoring braces and winning us games when his little girl was a baby. So forget about the ox and the baby theme. Well, this is it. I think he missed one game because his daughter was born that night. So that's obviously,
Yeah.
But no, I don't think the performance is. I would just say he's kind of found a level, hasn't he? He has moments.
Yeah.
Is that his moments and consistency aren't big enough for what we are.
And what's expected from our club. I mean, the thing is, even with Ox, sometimes in a club you have squad players, and I wonder for him whether he's comfortable. And I don't know the man at all, right? Some players are probably just comfortable being squad players, and maybe he's actually hit his ceiling. Maybe what we're seeing from Ox is the most he can actually do at Liverpool. So that's what I was saying. This, it may have hit his ceiling. I want Ox to do well.
I do.
But as
he's
said,
a lovely guy. But
yeah.
If he wants more game time, he will have to move on. He will never get more game time if this is what he's bringing. This will be his role. Bringing on as a sub, a fill-in. He won't be starting big matches.
Yeah.
No way.
So yeah, we'll see how it goes anyway.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Nick Ford, no, Gems, I was referring to the new show and the Scream template. Oh, yeah, you like all of this, isn't it?
All of the nice, pretty stuff.
We're our own independent channel now, Nick. Kop Talk, not TV, just Kop Talk. So yeah, set your subscribe button and the reminder link, and it will send you updates when we're going to be live.
Definitely.
So you'll never miss a show. So I know you're a loyal fan. Kelleher is such a safe goalkeeper. I feel calm when he is in goal as opposed to Adrian. This is it. I feel like Adrian, because of his age as well, it's kind of like, I need to prove myself. I need to prove and you can feel he's anxious to make a statement, and that comes across on the defense. It translates into everything. I think whereas Kelleher is just like, I'll get a game. It's all right. If I don't get a game in another 10 games, it's fine. I don't care. So I think the nonchalant kind of like, it's just a game. Whereas Adrian's more, I need to prove myself. I need to prove myself, which can also translate onto Ox sometimes. Whenever he plays, he feels a bit desperate, tries too hard, tries to force things. He's promised us goals out of the box. Don't have to do that, Oxlade. Just play your game, play to your advantage, your strengths, and that's enough for us. We've got Salah.
True.
That
but yeah, as you said, hopefully Ox will feature on Saturday. Yeah, and he has a breathtaking man of the match performance. And on a preview show, we can revisit everything we said today.
Definitely. I love the guy. I will never put him down. I would never put any of our players down, but there are just some that can't take a spot off of somebody, and they just have to take a seat, or they have to raise the bar. There's quite a few at the moment that need to raise their bars. Thiago is on his way back.
Yeah.
And he won't be sitting down. All right, guys. So thanks for joining us. So we're going to wrap it up now. We will be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. for the Watford pre-match. So, Mr. Shaw, we will be answering your questions on are we worried about Ranieri?
Yeah.
We'll let you know tomorrow. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.